Hi everyone, my name is Keith Brooks and this is Brooks Channel, and for today's video I'd like to continue discussing a topic I was talking about in my previous video, which is my writing, or more specifically what I write about. In that video I talked a little bit about a story I've been working on for the last few years, but today I'd like to go into a little more detail about it and maybe get some feedback from you all. Now, the story itself is titled Outcasts, and it's about a group of friends who, for various reasons, are outcasted in their hometown, and one day just leave to go on adventures together and try to accomplish what they want most in life. Now, their world is a fictional version of Earth, like a different version, I mean, where people can be born with different kinds of abilities depending on, like, genetics and stuff. There are normal people like us who would have no powers. They would have to protect themselves, so like hand-to-hand combat, weapons, technology, that kind of stuff. Then there are also superhumans, which are people that can be born with up to 3 of their physical traits, at least 2 or 3 times more than what a normal person is capable of. Stuff like strength, speed, healing, that kind of stuff. And a bunch of others. And there are also people that are born with psychic powers, which can, involves powers involving the mind, like mind reading, telekinesis, hypnosis, just to name a few. There are also people that are born being able to use magic, which involves either controlling or manipulating 8 different elements. You got earth, fire, wind, water, lightning, ice, light, and dark. Now, people with magic can learn any of those elements, but most specialize in like 1 or 2. And then there are also animal people that are born like either a half or 1/3 animal, which means they can have traits from like 1 or 2. It also depends on genetics, and can have abilities evolving around those animals, like people with bird traits can have wings to fly, or fish people that have gills they can use to breathe underwater, just to name a couple of simple ones. Let's see, there are also a couple of other types of abilities I'm working on that I not ready to put into detail yet because I'm still working on them. Gotta look some things up and research and whatnot. Now then, for the main characters, there are meant to be 6, but it starts out with 4. Now, the first of which is this one kid named Joey, who is basically a scrawny, socially awkward weirdo, as he's known as. He says certain things weird, like he'll say hello is halo. Let's see. He'll say okay is okay. And we ask someone what they're doing to say what you doing, or things like that. He also has a habit of going up behind people all quiet and saying hi or what you doing, things like that, and kind of startles them. Just to name a few of the little quirks he has. And then there are his powers, which are a bit different than what most people would have. Basically, the first thing he can do is being able to turn his hands into like these big boxing gloves that he can use to hit people real hard, because he can't really hit hard on his own because he's kind of weak. He can also shoot him off his arm like a rocket, and then when the glove hits something, it explodes. Then his hand just poops back onto his arm like normal after a few seconds. Yeah, his main motivation for going with his friends is to try and find out more about those powers, like what they are, if there are any other people that have that kind of power, and what all he can do with them. And also because when his parents found out, because he kept it a secret from most people, they freaked out and were preparing to send him off to some psychiatric facility, thinking that they could cure him. And the thought of it scared him a lot, so yeah, that was his motivation for leaving. And along with that, from his first friend, and basically the unofficial leader of the group, you have Mitch, who is basically like a troublemaker. He likes drinking, getting into fights. He's also kind of a perv. Likes to peep on women and try to like hook up with them, which mostly ends in failure. and him getting like death glares or threatened with violence and all that. He's basically kind of a degenerate in some ways, but also cares a lot about his friends can and will try to help them when he can. He also can come off as kind of a jerk without intending to be. He's also the only one of the group without any powers, so instead he fights with guns. He starts with like a normal handgun, but later on in the story I intend for him to get some more tricked out ones. Yep. His main motivation for leaving mainly involved some conflict with his dad, who is basically forcing him into taking over the family business, because they own like a lot of different stores and shops and all that in and around their hometown, and do pretty good for themselves. And Mitch didn't want to do that, because what he really wanted to do is become a legendary adventurer, someone who goes around fighting bad guys, making a ton of money, and becoming world famous. That becomes his motivation for leaving, and pretty much sets it up for like him and the others to leave. And then after him, you have Jay, who is a bit overweight and has some anger problems, especially with people that disrespect anything related to food, because he is basically aspiring to become a chef, like, and also the head of his own restaurant, like his adopted father and mentor. Now then, Jay himself is also a superhuman. He has two physical traits. There is superhuman strength, which is a good amount more than normal. It's like, I'm working on like a grading system for the superhuman traits. His would be somewhere around the middle, or close to it. And he's also able to enhance his strength and other of his physical traits by eating and drinking certain things. It becomes more effective when it's like properly cooked and well-made food, which is part of his inspiration for becoming a chef too. Yep, he can eat meat to make himself even stronger, eat or drink sugary stuff to make him go faster, though with that one it tends to make him slow and sluggish for twice as long after it wears off. And he can also drink a bunch of milk to put special armor around his bones to make him more resistant to pain and injury. He can drink clean or purified water to heal himself, and carrots to improve his eyesight, letting him see further and also see close to perfect in the dark. Yep. Yeah. His motivation for leaving is basically to try and come up with new recipes to add to the menu for his dream restaurant. So he basically takes off like his mentor did, and to go around the world learning how to make all these different kinds of dishes. Yeah, he's also basically the power fighter of the team. And then their fourth friend is Woody, who is basically really short, and also uses magic. Oh, yeah, height-wise is about 4'4". And in their hometown, magic is very frowned upon. Like, anything apart from normal humans are pretty much, like, shunned or straight up hated. And magic users are pretty much one of the most hated because everyone in town, or at least most of them, see it as unnatural. And Woody wants to try to make things better for mages around where they're from. Like, try and go around showing off different, like, what magic can do. Sorry, I'm kind of trying to figure out what to say. He basically just wants to make things better for people that can use magic. They get treated more fairly and with more respect. And, like, trying to disprove a lot of the stereotypes about them. Like, that it's only for, like, weak people that can't really fight. And that it's, like, just weird. So it's a little difficult. But they're the four main heroes. And they all, like, go around the country, or continent, I should say. It's built up into 4 different countries. Let's see. I'm trying to explain everything, but I'm still working out all the details. I've been writing the first drafts for the stories in these books right here. Got like 4 of them right here. And I got a bunch of empty ones I still need to work on in time. At the time of recording this video, I have 15 different stories, like, written down first draft-wise, and I'm working on the 16th. And, well, it's something I've been really passionate about for a while, and I'm trying to get more onto it because I've kind of been procrastinating on it a bit, as I mentioned before. But that's about the basics of the story. And so I'm just gonna end the video here. And please let me know what you thought about it in the comments, like what you think. And if you maybe have any ideas about how I could do it a little better. And with that, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.